Good morning, students. We have completed a revision of last 4 chapters. Let us start the revision of 5th chapter. Separation of substances is the title of 5th chapter. In last chapter, that is in 4th chapter, we have sorted the materials into groups. Some students may be having a confusion between a group and a mixture. In last chapter, we have learnt that alike substances can be made into groups based on their similar properties. Alike substances can be made into a gathering or a group based on their similar properties. Here, mixture means it is not a group. It is a different substances that were held together. That is called mixture. If two or more than two different substances, not alike substances, when they were held together, then it is called a mixture. So in a mixture, two or more than two different substances will be there. So in nature, there are many different substances. Sometimes we are provided with mixtures of these different substances. When a mixture is provided to you, then it will be becoming difficult to use the mixture. If separate substances are given to you, then you can use the substances effectively. So for the effective utilization of the individual substances, we need to separate them. So, broad purpose of separating the substances from their mixtures, not from their groups, remember. Separation of substances from their mixtures, not from the groups. The whole and sole purpose of separation of the substances from their mixtures is effective utilization of individual substances. Okay. But there are certain other common uses also. Why do we separate substances? Why do we separate substances? If a mixture of two or more, underline, useful substances. If a mixture of two or more useful substances is provided to you, then to separate these useful different substances from one to the other from the mixture, we do separation. The purpose is effective utilization of individual substance. For example, you are given milk or buttermilk, in which butter is there, milk also is there. For the effective utilization of butter and milk separately, we need to separate the butter from the buttermilk or from the milk. Churning is a process using which we can separate the butter from buttermilk or butter from milk. Churning means rigorous agitation in the milk or in the buttermilk will make the butter to get separated out. That is what called churning. I will provide the definitions at the keywords area what is churning. Now you just listen and understand. Next, if a mixture of useful substance and non-useful component, remember it is useful substance and just a non-useful component. It is not harmful, it is only non-useful. You are not going to make any use from it. Such a substance is known as non-useful component. So if a mixture of such a useful substance and a non-useful component is provided, then to separate the non-useful component, why you need to separate the non-useful component? To utilize the useful component effectively. That is whole purpose. For example, after you make the tea, you can directly drink the tea when the tea leaves are present in the tea. But do you feel it is tastier? No. When you separate the tea leaves from the tea, you will feel that the tea is tastier. Okay. So, from a mixture of a useful substance and a non-useful component, in order to separate the non-useful component for the effective utilization of useful component, you do this separation. Okay. Third one. If a mixture of impurities and useful substances is there, a mixture of impurities and useful substances is there, then to separate and remove impurities also we go for separation methods. Why? Why you need to separate and remove the impurities? Again, for the effective utilization of useful substance. For example, separation of dust and stones from food grains like rice. We all might have seen our moms are separating the stones from the rice. So, totally there are 3 purposes to separate the substances from a mixture. What are they? If a mixture of 2 or more useful substances is provided, then to separate these useful different substances, we go for separation. Churning of milk or buttermilk to separate the butter. That is the example. If a mixture of a useful substance and a non-useful component is provided, then to separate the non-useful component from the useful component, we go for separation. Separation of tea leaves from tea. If a mixture of impurities and useful substances is there, then to separate and remove impurities, we go for separation. That is separation of dust and stones from food grains like rice. Okay, coming to the next topic. We have learned the purposes. And after separation, what do we do? The separated things. If both are useful, we are going to use both the useful components separately, individually. If one non-useful component is there, we will throw away the non-useful component. If the impurities are there, we will throw away the impurities. And useful components we are going to use. That's what we are going to do after separation. And coming to the methods of separation. There are different methods of separation like hand picking, threshing, winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation, and filtration, evaporation. The sedimentation, decantation, filtration we are going to learn in together almost. Okay. So these are various methods of separation. What are the methods of separations? Hand picking, threshing, winnowing, sieving, sedimentation, decantation, and filtration and evaporation. First method, hand picking. Here I am writing only exact, precise definition. Is called, was called, all those things I am not writing. You can make it in the exam, that particular thing. Hand picking. The method of separation of slightly larger sized impurities by hand is known as hand picking. So separation of slightly larger sized impurities by hand. Separation of slightly larger sized impurities by using hand is known as hand picking. Separation of larger pieces of dirt, stone and husk from wheat, rice or pulses, generally we use this hand picking method. But remember, there is a note for this hand picking method. Hand picking method is used if the quantity of impurities is usually not very large. If the quantity of impurities that has to be separated, if it is more or if it is very large, then we cannot choose hand picking method. Hand picking method is chosen only when the quantity of the impurities that has to be separated is not very large. Then only we are going to go for this hand picking method. Second one, threshing. Separation of grains from their stalks by beating them onto a hard surface. Okay. Stalks, grains. This is the farmer related things. Farmers grow crops in the field. Once after it comes to maturity, that is, the grains are fully grown up, then the farmer will cut it, that is, harvest it. Grains are small in size and very large in number. Like how you pick the mangoes one by one with your hand, you can't do it for the grains. Then whatever the cut portion is there of the plant, that is called stalk, and grains are attached to the stalks. How to separate these large number of grains which are small in size? By beating the stalks onto a hard surface, we can separate these grains. So separation of grains from their stalks by beating the stalks to a hard surface is known as threshing. Threshing is done with the help of bullocks for small quantities and with the help of machines for large quantities of grains. Threshing is done with the help of bullocks for small quantity and with the help of machines for the large quantities of grains. Next separation method is winnowing. Separating the heavier and lighter components from their mixture by wind or blowing air. So a mixture is there in which heavier and lighter components are there. Then how to separate these heavier and lighter components from that mixture? Using wind or blowing air. If we are separating it, then such method of separation is known as winnowing. This method is commonly used by farmers to separate lighter husk particles from heavier seeds of grain. In this process, husk is carried far away from the platform of winnowing. So, the person will be taking that mixture and he will be just allowing it to fall down in front of blowing air. So, where the person is standing with the mixture, that is known as platform for winnowing. So, during this winnowing process, husk is carried far away from the platform for winnowing, whereas seeds of grain get separated and form a heap near the platform of winnowing. So, like this, by using wind or blowing air, we can separate the heavier and lighter components from their mixture. So, this separated husk, it is used for different purposes, like it can be used as a fodder for cattle. Next one is sieving. Separation of bigger impurities from fine particles using a sieve. Sieve is a device which is having different sized holes. So this hole will allow only the substance that can move through it or pass through it. The substances which cannot move through it or pass through it are going to just stand above that sieve only, or they are going to just get collected above that sieve only, right? So separation of bigger impurities from fine particles. Generally, the fine particles will be the useful components, right? Separation of bigger impurities from fine particles using a sieve is known as sieving. In sieving, the fine particles pass through the holes of sieve while bigger impurities remain on the sieve only or above the sieve only. So separation of bigger impurities from fine flour particles in homes, we generally do it like wheat flour or any other flour. Before using it, we use the sieving method and we separate the larger impurities. And at construction sites, we use the sand for constructing, sand and cement. But sand may be containing many stones that will make the construction improper. So how to separate the stones? Using again a large size sieve. So separation of stones from sand at construction sites also is done by using sieving method. Sieving is used when components of a mixture are having different sizes. So when component of a mixture are having different sizes, then we are going to go for sieving. Next, sedimentation, decantation. Filtration we will discuss in the next class. Coming to sedimentation. Settling of heavier component in a mixture after adding the water to this mixture. And definition, this is only definition, but I know that you will not understand from this definition. So take a mixture. That mixture is having what? A heavier component and lighter component. A mixture is there. A mixture of heavier and lighter components are there. Right? To this mixture, you have added water. After adding water, in the water, the heavier component settles down. So settling of this heavier component in a mixture. Settling means going down and sitting quietly. That is known as settling. Settling of heavier component in a mixture after adding water to this mixture. Is known as sedimentation. Getting sedimented means settling down. Okay. So settling of rice in a mixture of rice and dust. So there is a mixture of rice and dust. You have added water to it. So rice is going to settle down. That is sedimentation. When it will settle down? After adding water to it. Okay. Right. So rice got settled. Then what is left on the top? Dust or lighter component is there with water. So removing water along with the dust after settling of the heavier component or after settling of the rice is known as decantation. This is all common process that we are going to observe at our home. Okay. Boys generally they don't help their mothers. At least girls may be helping. They might be knowing it better. Okay. So removing of water along with the dust after the settling of a heavier component like rice is known as decantation. The principle of sedimentation and decantation can be used for even a mixture of two liquids that do not mix with each other. When a mixture of two liquids, immiscible liquids. Immiscible means which will not mix with each other. Such liquids are known as immiscible liquids. If such a mixture of two immiscible liquids is given to you, then by using this sedimentation decantation method, we can separate them. Like oil and water are given. Both are immiscible. And they are mixed. How to separate them? If you allow the mixture, after a little while, the water settles down and oil comes up. So, using this sedimentation decantation method, we can separate them because this liquid-liquid mixture will form two separate layers. Bottom side water, top side oil. And the top liquid layer, that is oil layer, can be separated by decantation. Automatically, the bottom collected one will be the water. Right? Like this, we can do separation using sedimentation and decantation. Filtration and other things we will discuss in the next class. Thank you.